All right, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachahakodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of great most on who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakathum. And I'm just going to title this, Just Admit It. This gospel has been preached. We're going to play. So I got 5 minutes. I haven't watched the whole thing. I watched the first like 2-3 minutes. But it's clear as day that we were correct, okay, the whole time. And then when it becomes inevitable or unavoidable, or I should say incontestable, who we are and what we've been preaching, then it's going to get violent, okay? Then Jake is going to reach out wanting to be delivered, and that's just not going to be the case, okay? But let's play some of this video, okay? You got Dr. Brown in it, but you got a rabbi here. Let's listen.
Is it okay if we just call you Yehuda?
Yeah, that's fine.
Today?
Yeah, that's fine. No problem at all. I'll go on even further to say this, that the slave trade is actually connected to Deuteronomy 28, because the majority of the slaves that were brought to the Caribbean islands and brought to the Americas were Hebrew people, were people of Hebrew and Hebraic Israelite descent, if you will. And so if you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, it matches perfectly what happened to the Hebrew slaves, the black Hebrew slaves, during the slave trade. It just matches.
Yeah. It matches, and this guy, I'm not sure, I never heard of him before, but he broke it down perfectly, and he's going to continue to do so, okay? Because this is what the Lord basically put up on us, man. This is in Deuteronomy 28, okay? Let me see. I'm going to wish the verse where it says it's a sign forever, okay? It's in Deuteronomy 28. Is it ensign? Let me just, hold on. Come on now. I know that word is in the scriptures. Hold on. Am I bugging? Shalaki, brothers. Let me just go to Deuteronomy 28. Word search every damn thing. Okay. If you skip down. Okay. What is it? 22. Give me a second. A lot of curses put on Jake, man. All right. It says, let me see. Verse 45, it says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they should be for a sign and for a wonder. It was 2 words. Okay, and it says, and they shall be a sign upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Okay, so that's how we have the son. That's how we know, okay, that this is who we are, that these curses would pursue us. Now, what modern day people have this going on, okay? This is the milk. But the milk is about to hit hard, because it's about to be mass understood by a lot of Israelites, because the Lord is going to seal the elect, and that's going to be a wrap for this place. All right, let's play a little bit more.
Back up now. I think we just rung a bell here. Hold up now.
Okay.
Hold up. Hold the presses.
Okay.
Hold up. I hope everyone is listening to this. This is you about to rock some boats now. Ben Yehuda there. Hold up now. Listen to what he's saying here. So you are saying that there's a great chance, or more so, that the black people that links directly to the slave trade are from the lost tribes of Israel. Is that what you're saying here, sir?
Yes, I am. Now, granted, I will qualify that I don't. Wait a second. I don't believe that every single black person is Hebraic or Jewish, but I'm saying that the majority of the slaves involved in the slave trade were Hebrews.
Could well be.
Hey, and that's perfect because the Lord is not dealing with every so-called black. Okay, black is a term Esau made up. It's a category. Okay, it fits the Hamites. Okay. And just because you share melanin does not make you of the same lineage of people. Every race has melanin except Esau, who's marked. Okay, even animals have melanin. That don't make them an Israelite. Okay. All right. Exodus 11:7 it says, "But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord Yahweh doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel." Okay, and so we know that the Egyptians originally were dark-skinned people, very tall, dark-skinned people. Okay, they're not the modern-day Arab that you see hanging around there. Those are a lot of Ishmaelites and scattered Edomites. All right, and other Semitic people that are in the region. Okay. That's not what the original Egyptians look like, all right? But we both share melanin, okay? But we got different hair textures. We have different looks. We look better. We have more flavor, okay? There's various things among the races, okay? Now Esau will try to confound you and say there's no difference. But then when you drill down into white culture, okay, you got Spanish, you got English, you got Russian culture, you got German culture. All of a sudden, he can tell the difference now, okay? But when it comes to you, he just wants you to be in a category of black, okay? You got to ask yourself, why does he have it that way, all right?
That there are as many as a couple 100,000 black Jews in America today. That could well be.
I also take exception with your vast underestimation of how many potential Israelites could be here in America. It shows that you have not researched this subject as well as you claim to have researched this subject. And I'm going to use one group. I'm not going to use the Akan, the Yoruba, and others. I do acknowledge that there are others. I'm going to point out something to you specifically, Dr. Brown, that you may not know. Now, if you Google how many African Americans have Igbo ancestry, you'll see right here, this is a quote from Wikipedia, but I'm going to show you some other sources in a second. This is just the first thing that comes up when you Google it. It says Chambers has been quoted saying, "My research suggests that perhaps 60% of black Americans have at least one Igbo ancestor." So that's the high end, 60%. The presence of Israelites along the Niger River had been known by Jewish authorities in the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Lithuania, and Suriname. You guys go check out my videos.
And it was more than just the Igbo tribes that descend, okay? The Limba tribe descends, the Yorubas, okay? Most of those tribes in West Africa were Jake, okay? Now, the Hamites came in and helped Esau take us down, okay, along with some wicked Jakes that were in rulership down there, all right? But you have many of us, man, and we're still there, okay? And this is indisputable, man, okay? When you deal with Bible prophecy, all right, there's nobody else that comes close, not even remotely close.
I cover this. I cover all of this in multiple videos over the last few years, talking about Israelites along the Niger River, and the transatlantic slave trade taking place in the exact place that Israelites were known to be, the Niger River, and the transatlantic slave trade taking place in the exact place that Israelites were known to be. The Igbo are Israelites, and 30 to 60% of black Americans have an Igbo ancestor. Well, we have to determine how many black Americans they are. So in 2020, according to the Census Bureau, 41.6 million black Americans lived here in America. And so if we look at 30% of that number, there are 12,480,000. If we look at 60% of that number, it is 24,960,000. So somewhere between 12 million and 24 million black Americans have Igbo ancestry. And as we just read, a Sephardic Jewish organization known as the Obadiah Alliance declared Igbo to be descendants of ancient Israelites. Well, if you look at those numbers and compare them to the numbers of the people in Israel today, you will see that the number of Israelites over here potentially vastly exceeds the number of people who call themselves Jews in the land of Israel today.
Right. What did the Lord say? That we would be scattered, we'd be as the sand of the sea. Okay? You know? Genesis 32:12, and thou saidest, I will surely do thee good and make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. Okay, and you saw that in Revelation 7 as well. Okay, it says we would be as the stars of heaven as well, man. Okay, but if I go to Revelation 7, let me see what it says. Okay. And boom, look, verse 9, Revelation 7:9, and after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number. Okay, see, that pairs up with what we just read. Okay, an innumerable multitude, okay, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Because see, in the time where this would happen, none of us would know any more Hebrew. None of us would speak the native language. We would all be scattered in different places. Okay, you got Jake in Greece. Okay, Jake in Turkey and Russia, in Australia, in South America. All right, definitely over here in North America, Central America. All right. All across Africa, man. You know, you got some Jakes out there in Kenya. We're mainly in West Africa, but we're all over, man. Okay? And we speak all different kinds of languages. And this is what these Christians get so mad and butthurt about. Okay?
So your number of maybe a couple 100,000 is off. Now let me show you how much it is off. Remember, 30 to 60% of black Americans have an Igbo ancestor. You claim that maybe a couple 100,000. So if we use a percentage calculator right here, let me see. All right, so if we put in 200,000 is what percent of 41.6 million, we get 0.48%. So it is your belief that less than a 0.5% of black people here in America could be Jews. Yet the numbers seem to indicate that upwards of 12 to 24 million, maybe more, are likely to be Jews.
Yep, you see that? So last precept I'll get. Last two, Salakia. Let me see, I believe it's in Baruch, 2nd chapter. Okay, we go down to verse 29. Okay, it says, if ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude, there it is again, shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. Okay, and see, this is where we get the term minority. See, we're the biggest nation overall, but we're a minority because we're scattered in every country. Okay, so there's going to be more Moabites over there in China than there are Israelites. Okay, there's going to be more, Edomites all throughout Europe than there are Israelites, which that may not even be the case because Jake was all up in Europe, man. Okay, he could look like anybody. Okay, especially the eastern and southern parts of Europe as well. Okay, and over there on the Iberian side as well. Okay, basically the area of Rome is where Esau, Rome and France and kind of those parts in the inner Rhineland area, where Esau kind of held a little bit of a stronghold in the Dark Ages, but Jake is everywhere, man. Okay, but we're a minority. Okay, and we went against the Heavenly Father, man. Okay. And it says, "For I knew that they would not hear me." All right, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. And see, this is a prophecy that was going to come to pass. Okay, and why is that important? Okay. Let me see if I can go straight to it. Oh wait, is it backwards? Hold on. The Great Commission. Okay, and it says, let me see. Did I miss it? Hold on, Salakia. I had it wrong. Salakia, Matthew 24. Okay, verse 14, it says, "And this is the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." Okay, now to get all that meat off that Baruch, you can read Ezekiel 37th chapter about how we're prophesied to wake back up, to come together an exceedingly great army. Okay, then it jumps to Revelation of them having great fear upon those that saw us, because this scares the shit out of everybody, because they know the prophecies, because they went through so many painstaking, endeavors to hide everything, which they couldn't hide everything. Okay, but these elites, they know they've spent the better part of half a millennium just hiding shit, making stuff up. Okay, beating your heritage and your lineage out of you, trying to break our spirit. Okay, but they couldn't do it. Okay, and so now it's too late. Okay, the end is already here, man, and there's nothing you can do about it. So with that, on to the next one.